At 11:42 p.m., the ride request was accepted. The driver was 3 minutes away. Her phone battery was at 18%. She stood alone under a flickering streetlight, watching a small blue car icon move closer to her location. She never made it home. By sunrise, there would be no messages, no calls, and no sign of where she had gone. Only data and a ride that never arrived. Emma Caldwell was 27 years old. She was a graduate student studying urban planning, someone who believed deeply in the systems that made cities safer, smarter, and more connected. She worked part-time as a server at a neighborhood restaurant just outside downtown. Emma lived alone in a one-bedroom apartment she could barely afford, in a city she was still learning to navigate. Her friends described her as cautious, organized, predictable. She walked the same routes, ordered from the same places, and shared her location with her sister every night. She trusted technology. And on the night she disappeared, she followed the same routine she had followed dozens of times before. On Thursday night, Emma finished her shift just after 11 p.m. Her co-workers watched her clock out. One of them saw her step outside and pull on her jacket as she checked her phone. At 11:38, Emma sent a text to her sister. "Headed home. Call you tomorrow." 4 minutes later, at 11:42 p.m., she opened a rideshare app and requested a car. The pickup location was the restaurant parking lot. The estimated arrival time was 3 minutes. The driver accepted immediately. At 11:46, Emma entered the vehicle. That moment would be the last confirmed sighting of her. The driver's name was Jason R. According to the app, he had completed over 4,000 rides. His rating was nearly perfect. No formal complaints. No safety flags. Jason was 34 years old. He lived nearly 40 minutes outside the city, in a quiet subdivision where no one asked questions. He drove almost exclusively at night. Jason told friends he preferred the hours when traffic was light and riders were quiet. He said nighttime was peaceful. Investigators would later learn that Jason had been separated from his wife for over a year. On paper, they were still married. In reality, he lived alone. And that night, he was the last person known to see Emma alive. The ride should have taken 14 minutes. The app recorded Emma's destination clearly. Her apartment complex was just under 5 miles away, but 6 minutes into the trip, the route changed. Instead of continuing toward downtown, the vehicle exited the main road. It entered an industrial zone filled with warehouses, closed repair shops, and empty lots. According to the app, the system logged a brief signal interruption. The car continued moving. No emergency alert was triggered. No cancellation was made. And Emma's phone never sent another message. That unexplained detour would become the most important detail of the case. At 12:31 a.m., Emma's sister sent a text. "Did you get home?" There was no reply. By morning, Emma's phone went straight to voicemail. She didn't show up for class. She didn't answer her door. At 9:17 a.m., her employer called the police. Emma Caldwell was reported missing less than 10 hours after she was last seen. Detectives pulled footage from 14 cameras along the road, restaurant parking lots, traffic intersections, security cameras mounted on warehouse gates. The footage confirmed Emma entering Jason's vehicle. The car was seen driving into the industrial area, and at 12:19 a.m., Jason's vehicle was captured exiting the zone. The passenger seat was empty. No camera recorded Emma leaving the car. No footage showed her walking away. It was as if she had vanished inside the vehicle itself. Jason was brought in for questioning. He told police that Emma had become uncomfortable during the ride. He claimed she asked to be let out early. According to him, she exited the vehicle near the industrial area and walked away. But the timeline didn't support his account. No camera showed her exiting, no phone ping placed her on foot, and no witnesses reported seeing a woman walking alone in that area at midnight. Jason's story changed twice during the interview. Small details shifted, times blurred, but he maintained one thing: Emma left his car alive. During a search of Jason's home, detectives found a second phone. It wasn't registered to his name, it wasn't listed on the rideshare account, it was prepaid, and it was active during Emma's ride. Cell tower records placed that phone near a remote gravel pit outside the city limits, an area with no cameras, no lighting, and no reason for a rideshare driver to be there. Emma's phone never connected to that tower, but Jason's second phone did. As investigators dug deeper, a troubling pattern emerged. 3 female riders had reported unusual route changes in the past year. 2 canceled mid-ride. 1 reported missing time but never followed up. None of them had filed formal complaints. None of them disappeared. Until Emma did. Her case forced investigators to look at what had been ignored. The quiet warnings. The data no one connected. Jason R. was arrested 11 days after Emma vanished. He was charged with kidnapping. Emma Caldwell has never been found. Her phone was discovered smashed near a service road. There was no body, no confession, only fragments of data left behind, a digital trail that ended in darkness, and a ride that never arrived. Technology promises safety, convenience, control, but sometimes the danger is already in the car. Jason R.'s arrest made headlines. A rideshare driver accused of kidnapping, a missing woman with no body. Public pressure mounted. But behind closed doors, prosecutors were uneasy, because data alone doesn't convict, and the data wasn't complete. Investigators subpoenaed the rideshare company. What they received was partial. Logs that showed routes, timestamps, ratings, but not internal safety flags, not internal complaints, not the algorithmic risk scores assigned to drivers. Those records required a second court order, and time was slipping away. A former rider came forward. She described a ride 6 months earlier. The same driver, the same detour, the same moment of fear. She canceled mid-trip. She survived. She never reported it, because nothing technically happened. An internal company document surfaced. A safety review. Jason R. had been flagged once before. Not for violence, but for route irregularities. Late-night deviations, unexplained stops. The file was marked resolved. No explanation attached. Jason's defense attorney built a case around data gaps, signal loss, system glitches, inconsistent timestamps. If the system couldn't guarantee accuracy, then doubt existed. And in court, doubt is power. Emma's phone last connected to the network at 12:04 a.m. Jason's second phone remained active until 12:51. Between those times, there was silence, a digital dead zone, and no way to prove what happened there. Emma's sister demanded answers, not just from police, but from the company that promised safety. The company issued condolences, updated its policies, added a button. Emma didn't get a button. Without a body, without a witness. Charges were reduced. Jason R. was released pending trial, surveillance, restrictions, but free. Emma was still missing. Months later, a phone connected briefly to a rural tower. The IME matched Jason's second device. By the time police arrived, the signal was gone. Emma Caldwell's case didn't end in a verdict. It ended in policy updates, press releases, and a quiet understanding that safety systems react after someone disappears. Data can map a city, but it can't replace judgment, and it can't bring her home. If you're still watching, leave a comment below. Who do you believe failed Emma the most? The driver, the system, or the silence that followed? Subscribe to Midnight Murder Vault for more cases pulled from the shadows. And if you know someone who relies on late-night rides to get home safely, share this story with them. Some warnings only matter before it's too late.